Landscape ecology is a study of the improving relationships between ecological processes occurring in the environment. Basically, landscape ecology explains the reasons behind landscape variations. A landscape is a heterogeneous area composed of different ecosystems. It is an interacting and interrelated mosaic of elements that make up their own ecosystem. Elements like mountains, flowers, trees, forests, rivers, lakes, species interaction, and even human inhabitation. These elements, when thriving in a single ecosystem, is called a patch. Altogether, these patches consist a mosaic. This is a combination of varying ecosystems or patches. These mosaics are divided as a result of changes in physical and biological structures. The areas surrounding the distinct boundaries of a patch is called the matrix. But how did these elements form the landscapes to what they are now? These are the outcome of different interactions of various environmental factors such as variations in soil, climate, topography, and geology. But above all this, human activity is the major contributor to these variations. Among these human activities are conversions of vast agricultural lands into developmental lands such as subdivisions, factories, and other structures that results to a mosaic that is smaller, often isolated patches of forest, grasslands, and shrublands. All of these factors, together with natural events such as wildfires, storms, and other detrimental events, give way to the formation of the various patches. Eventually, this resulted to patch variation in size and shape. Patches may be round, elongate, square, or convoluted, covering hundreds of kilometers or only a few meters. Among the landscape's most conspicuous feature are the edges or borders that mark the perimeter of each patch. The place where the edges of two patches meet is called a border. Some borders between landscape patches are narrow and abrupt, while others are wide. Wide borders may form a transition zone called an ecotone. Borders may vary in length and may be straight, convoluted, or perforated. As patches have different shapes, borders also have different patterns. Thus, borders offer unique habitats with relatively easy access to the adjacent communities. These diverse conditions enable boundaries to support plant and animal species from adjacent patches. As a result, borders are often rich in diversity. This phenomenon is called the edge effect. Edge effect may also result to problems. Narrow, abrupt borders are attractive to predators. Patch sizes, as well as shapes, are crucial to species diversity. It can make or break the richness of diversity in a patch. As a general rule, large patches of habitat contain a greater number of individuals than do small patches. The relationship between patch size and species richness is more complex. Larger patches are more likely to contain variations in topography and soils that give rise to a greater diversity of plant life, which in turn will give rise to a wider array of habitats for animals.
absence of species can be influenced by the patch size. Large patches of habitat contain a greater population size and species richness than small patches do. This is due to increasing carrying capacity of the species and the greater number of potential home ranges that can be supported. Within the animal community, there's a general relationship between weight and size of animal's home range. Within the plant community, larger patches are more likely to contain variations in topography, which gives rise to greater diversity of plant life. Another factor that affects species diversity is the ratio of interior and edge environments. As the size of the patch increases, the interior environment also increases. There are species which require the condition of an interior environment. They are termed as interior species. And there are those who favor edge environment, and they are termed edge species. And there are also those who are intermediate, which are called area-insensitive species. Landscape connectivity. This allows or impedes the movement of organisms among patches. There are two components of landscape connectivity: structural connectivity and functional connectivity. Structural connectivity refers to the physical arrangement of habitable patches on the landscape, while functional connectivity describes the degree to which the landscape facilitates the movement of organisms and is a function of both physical structure of the landscape as well as the behavioral responses of the organism to the structure. One structural feature of the landscape that can facilitate organisms' movement is corridor. Most corridors are human-made. By facilitating movement of organisms, it encourages gene flow and helps re-establish species in habitats that have experienced local extinction. Corridors may also have negative effects. It offers scouting positions for predators, and they can create avenues for spread of disease between patches. It may also provide home for some animals. Roads, which are man-made corridors, have a negative impact by impeding the movement of organisms, and high-speed roads are a major source of mortality for wildlife. But how does the characteristics such as size, shape, and connectivity interact to determine community structure? Robert MacArthur and Edward Wilson developed the theory of island-wide geography to provide the framework to understand how size and connectivity can interact to influence patterns and patches within the landscape. According to this theory, immigration rate declines with increasing species richness and extinction rate increases. The balance between extinction and immigration defines the equilibrium number and associated equilibrium species richness than do islands distant from mainland. Extinction rates relate to the area and are higher on small islands than on larger ones. The equilibrium number of species varies according to island size, and larger islands have greater equilibrium species richness than do smaller islands.
The distinct patterns of communities that we see in the landscape, as well as the plant and animal species inhabiting them, are heavily influenced by disturbances both past and present. Disturbance, a discrete event that disrupts communities and populations, also initiates succession and creates diversity. Disturbances have spatial and temporal characteristics. Small-scale disturbances make gaps in the substrate or vegetation, creating patches of different composition or successional stage. Large-scale disturbances favor opportunistic species. Severe disturbances can replace the community altogether. Of great ecological importance are intensity, frequency, and return interval. Too frequent disturbances can eliminate certain species and can also occur extinction of the said species. Natural disturbances can be powerful force for change in the landscape. Fire is a natural large-scale disturbance that has both beneficial and adverse effects. Other major natural disturbance regimes include wind, floods, storms, and animals. Through their activities, they can transform landscape mosaics and build a new one. Major human-induced disturbances include logging, mining, agriculture, and development. These produce profound, often permanent, changes in the landscape mosaic. The landscape is dynamic, and patches are in various stages of development and disturbance. Within these patches, the communities function as islands, some bridged by corridors. Their population are part of large meta-populations linked by dispersal of individuals. With this, new landscape are made